And welcome to Mirage, folks. Maybe one of the last times you'll see Mirage in this version of Source, as apparently it's going to be looking shiny and new in the next one. We got PALOMA, we got Monte, we got action going on, and we got SNX looking to make early contact here with MQQ. Ooh, that didn't look pretty on the first phase, but MQQ will zero it in. And now, an A site, free and clear for the taking here, Yuri.
Yeah, stacked towards that B bomb site, and after that short smoke was down, they still weren't convinced about whether it was going to be the B site or not, but they are cluttered up here in numbers, and they're hoping that they can simply swarm back in.
They'll try. No kit, though. Put some time pressure on this, and MQQ is going to make them pay early on. Body's starting to drop. Peppered down, and just looking like a non-starter. Bit of damage here, but nothing more to show for PALOMA. Monte comfortably taking that pistol round.
Pretty much the worst thing that could have happened given their pistol setup. You know, lose your A player so quickly, and then as soon as you try and re-navigate over towards that A bomb site, things are smoked off. You have no utility for the retake. They were just simply relying on finding kills, and that's actually the strength of Monte. You know, people are really hyped and really love the Bad News Eagle squad because of the type of Counter-Strike they deliver. I actually consider Monte the same, in much the same regard. You know, they're a limit test kind of team.
Yeah.
But they've been expanding. You know, they've been developing strategies as time's gone on. They're starting to lose that, I guess, attribute about them.
Do love a little freelance. Counter-Strike play. Catch on the cat player. Again, pretty good identification of the weak spot on the map. You take down one pistol, you got very good access to the site. And, I mean, we weren't expecting much out of this round, and we're not going to get much. PALOMA, locked out. Dropped down. Boros farming up the frags early against the eco. Well, the SMG will hunt. The rifles will make absolute... Never mind, they're all going to hunt. No concern about which direction they go. A gun's actually been given over. I can't imagine Murloc's going to make it out of here. Who is Murloc playing for?
I was literally just confused for a second. Like, Murloc?
Yeah.
Who are you playing? WoW?
Murloc. Can you do the Murloc sound?
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh. I hate us for doing it. I do.
I love it. Haven't played a Warcraft game in years, but still, that noise is blazoned in my brain.
Yeah. Seared in.
Were you a WoW guy or a Warcraft 3 guy?
Warcraft 3 more than WoW, but...
Yes! The cultured take.
That wasn't good.
Neither was I, but I spent a lot of time on the campaign.
Ooh, lovely fast work.
Murloc?
God.
Oh, mobbing his way on through. This one's looking a little spicy now. PALOMA. They've got the numbers. Bomb is down, though, to defend. What do we got here? Krasnal looking for big kill to find. To set up this post plant now. Warhawk goes forward, and suddenly what was looking like a strong position has dissolved. Wandering in towards jungle might be an issue, but Warhawk's there for the trade, so it's all into ISO. He is ISO and bladed. Bombs planted open. No kit, no smoke means no way to win the round.
Yeah, just arriving far too late, and almost, you know, I'm sort of interrupting you as that happens, but there's a lot of smokes that Monte threw. You know, it was very much like a stream of consciousness decision for them to just barrel into that A bomb site. People started throwing smokes, just dropped into that site, and they were re-smoking the same areas as well, and it was chaos there for PALOMA to deal with, and losing that first man so quickly on the A bomb site, it's very similar to the pistol, you know, it's just constant rotationary action for the rest of the squad. Monte very assertive with how they're dominating this mid control, and right now PALOMA just aren't interested in contesting that area of the map. I don't really know how to help, how to improve the PALOMA side as time goes on, because they've now had an international venture. You know, people are paying a little bit more attention to them than once upon a time, but they're also going up against a Monte that are on a very much an upswing, you know, ever since the bringing in of SDY. It feels like things have really tightened together. You know, they're playing a lot more team-oriented CS. Still adding some of that extra, you know, firepower flair as well.
Certainly are. SDY, speaking of which, got a lot of information here and towards mid. Gonna catch the first kill. And with it, he basically freezes SNX. Even knew SNX was here in the window, so can he get away with this rifle? Seems like the answer's likely to be yes. But another round on for Monte, and one where PALOMA, I mean, in the last gun round, they had a good chance. And this one, they even up the numbers at one point. It just doesn't seem to much matter. This was a bit of a rougher buy. But for PALOMA, not exactly the start they were hoping for here on Mirage.
Yeah, a half investment where they found 2 kills, and feasibly SNX might have considered going for it, considering there's a buy around the corner. But as soon as SDY had him cut off and he has no armor against a MAC-10, he just decides that saving the AK has more value. I want to see something forward facing. You know, if we're gonna have Monte dominate this mid control, I'd like to see them fight for this territory of the map. Right now, it just feels like it's a little too free, and it's just allowing Monte to crunch to whichever target they decide.
We've got the double op set up here, so presumably that might imply a little bit more of a competition here for the mid control. Casey's going into it. Olymp wants to set up here on towards B. Utility sailing over. They're going quick. Oh my goodness, this might be the perfect counter to the AWP. Flashes so potent. Somehow, Olymp is still alive. But his teammate's been lost, and he's lost the sight. Casey coming back into the angle just in the nick of time here for Market. And they're starting to find some damage back in the other way. Here we go. Oh, the chase through. That was ambitious from Boros. Risky, to say the least. And it's cost him. Cost his team as well. This could take a heck of a bailout, and it's not going to happen from Krasnal. On to DemQQ. He's the next victim. Double ops. Surprisingly effective in the retake, as Monte just give them fight after fight after fight.
Key kills from the AWP. You know, as soon as we get this double op setup, they're able to have influence. And I thought this was where they were going to get rocked and rolled. You know, because they had that SMG in Boros' hands, just able to close that gap. Like you said, the call might have been perfect to actually deal with that boost into the apartments, but they never actually found that secondary man on the B bomb site. And just in through all that chaos, the AWP suddenly struck, and Monte, I think, quickly realized they didn't have great post-plant positions, and so took some risks by moving through smokes. Well handled in the end from PALOMA. Another fast play.
As we come to expect from Monte, they're already flying down mid. Casey's posted for this, and the walk through smoke from Boros, that's not going to work out. Nor is DemQQ just going for a dry swing out of pallet. So, PALOMA have shown that they can hold up to these initial forays, that you can't just push everything on the map against them. They are content to sit and frag, and now you've got a 2v5 for Monte to try and recover. Or, well, at least get this started. Or an SDY to take full control here of the middle of the map.
Yeah, and they're cutting sound as well after getting that kill via Waro. Nobody decides to re-challenge. PALOMA want to try and keep themselves as healthy as possible. Not every round is going to start as easily as this one. And they know that this power duo, you know, just recently played a game and finished the finals of an online cup. I think it was one of the CCT ones against Apex. And these two dominated. So they're warm coming into this game.
See if they can cool him down. Oh, gun barrel spotted. Ricks. Meat face. It's interesting that I think Casey is showing up in the kill feed as 6XDXP9. I believe that's his ESEA name for some reason. We had this issue previously. This team causes problems with the HUD. It makes some fun things. We had an entire game, I think, where... Oh, this is right. Okay. We cast an entire game early, I think last season, where nobody on the team on the PALOMA side had a name. They were all just PALOMA in the HUD and the kill feed. And then one player was 6XDXP9, and we didn't know who it was.
Understood.
So we had some fun with that.
Yeah.
I think tough.
I think 6XDX or whatever weird code he is actually Olymp.
Oh, you're right.
They're both AWPers, but yeah, no, I think I've had a cast with Alan recently where we was talking about the same thing where it was just confusing.
Yep, you're absolutely right. It is Olymp. Casey himself does show up on the board. Limited buy here. This is where you might expect a friskier play, but for once, Monte are actually chilling. They didn't get the mid fight. And they're letting some time whittle off the clock. Is this permitted? Well, it will be, at least for the moment. Boros has worked his way in towards connector. Leviso right on the other side of this. Potentially Casey to swing with him. It's a decent setup for the A hold. That does seem to be what Monte might try and approach. And especially if Murloc gets any information off this catwalk angle. This could be good, but he's just going to dump util and chill.
Very little to work around aside from these flashes the War has in hand, but they're just hoping Paloma make a mistake. Nobody moving all too much either.
Oh, he's thrown both flashes. All right, in towards the window. Didn't get them a ton, but it did get Boros out to his death. Wanted to see if Boros could create something. And, well, bomb dropped. Kill found for Waro. Gun potentially picked up as well. Damn, QQ going to track SNX. Looking for a little bit of a fact-finding mission there. The bomb's still down. There's 25 seconds. Time is a serious concern. But, oh my goodness, that kill on Cat could have been huge. Murloc will bail. Avoid giving it to him. Waro, a chance to make some magic happen here. Deagle is mighty. Casey dancing around the box. Doesn't want to give it up. Knows that time is on his side, and the USP will be just enough to put Waro down. That one way closer than it had any right to be.
Yeah, hairy. A lot of individual fights there from Monte as well. Like, they weren't ready to trade off one another aside from the isolating duel that they had towards jungle. And that almost spurs them into a possible round win, if not for the missed shots from Waro, if not for the fact he didn't, take the time to reload. Might have been able to actually clutch that one out, had to do the rest of the work with the Deeg. And Paloma are able to dodge a bullet, so answering back with 3 rounds. See if they can tie things up here. They don't have that double up setup that they've been gravitating towards, but it's gravity pulling Monte towards middle in so many rounds that have gone by. Once again, it will be left relatively uncontested, but Casey, wide swing that will not find anything from it. No punishment either.
And he's able to get right back on the angle as well. Ambitious, considering the head rippers that we know are on the other side. But it seems like Monte have seen enough here to back them off. They've seen the AWP, they've seen presence. It was a stack previously, and with SDY getting that kill on catwalk, now things are looking very good indeed. So Olymp down for the count. First op gone. Dragged away. Now,
it's very important that they keep information on short to some degree, because they're leaving Murloc to watch 2 angles simultaneously, but Monte aren't even going that direction. They're heading towards the more reinforced site.
Yeah, this read is good. SNX might be in trouble here, because we know Krasnal has a tendency to push the smokes. That's a great flashbang to get the players out. Con, but the bomb's dropped ahead. Now they certainly know rotation can come in if they can hold on the ramp. This is such a strong hold. It does require winning this ramp fight, and SNX does exactly that. Chased down, but it just left to Waro to make some magic happen, and the magic runs out. Nice play from Casey.
If I'm not mistaken as well, Waro is calling for this Monte side. An AWPing in-game leader, but he's been doing some great work on pistols and rifles as well. He seems to be, as soon as the round gets thrown into chaos, probably the most free-flowing of any of the Monte players in terms of just trying to shoulder the responsibility of winning the round for them, but it hasn't been enough. Paloma have been able to salvage even some of these dire situations, these more awkward affairs where it can be isolated duels, which is kind of not what you want to give Monte. Lovely shot from Casey to open things up ahead of SDY, just a gift.
Boros gonna get caught on the timing, trying to get out and towards mid. So right off the rip, no damage done back the other way. 2 bodies on the floor. Monte at least have mid, but that's also cost them what little utility they brought into this round. Don't believe there's anything irretrievable on the bodies on the floor either, so they are going to be left stuck here once the smokes fade with very little to work with. X-ray may be misleading there. Krasnal not spotted just yet, but he will be eventually, and bit by bit, it doesn't seem to be much happening into this round. MQQ and Waro will play the game of can we headshot? No, we can't.
Yeah, not quite as child-friendly, I don't think.
No. It's a sequel for the gritty reboot.
The thing is, we're getting more and more young people entering the server. One of them, Waro. Just electric with this deagle. So far, 3 kills. This should have been an easy sweep up round, an economy builder for PALOMA, but it's just about as dangerous as possible. 4 kills, and you've given Woro his AWP bomb on back. He's retreating to that A bomb site. Olymp doesn't have sight lines.
Out of nothing, out of nowhere. Now the ace potentially on deck. Woro just needs one more shot to lock it in. He's got the right read, he's got the right idea. First shot misses, but he goes to the trusty dig. And time aplenty to reposition. Take another look at this. The stick's just coming through of Woro. Checks, he's got him. A dead man. The ace pulled off a 1v5 clutch. Woro!
Are you serious? Are you serious? That is... I mean, he's been stellar so far this map, and they've still been losing rounds. I thought this was just going to be another case of get a couple kills, then finally traded. But each and every one of these PALOMA players peaks 1 by 1 after those initial 2 in middle.
It's actually insane. 5v1. Just a deagle on the other side. Should have been the freest round. Unreasonable. He doesn't miss. Doesn't miss with that deke. A little bit of time is going to be taken here by PALOMA. I think they need to mentally reset. I mean, frankly, Monte might need to as well. The endorphins got to be kicking after that one for Woro.
It's crazy to think that I think we've seen more missed shots on the AWP from Woro than on the dig.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
If you just use an AWP like a deagle and only go for the headshots and never scope, maybe Woro could ascend to the next level.
If it's only as simple as that, you know?
He's actually got 15. I mean, even before that, he had 10 kills before pulling off an ace, right? More than a kill around, and now he's got an ace on top of it. 191 ADR. Guy is basically good for 2 a round in terms of pure damage.
Yeah, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe this isn't Boris's home turf. Maybe it was Woro's all along.
Bro says, I'll go die. You trade me and everyone else, Woro.
Sounds good to me.
4 entries, 1 clutcher. That's how all teams should be built. SDY already got the ground ahead of the smoke. ISO trades out 1. Takes down Woro, though, so that's nice. Less nice now in the kill exchange. Katie missing shots. Not going to get too many more opportunities. He'll be able to collect. Molotov forces him off. No one to punish. And Olin back onto the angle. The bomb's top mid. You and me, the bomb's top mid. If it was on DemQQ, they'd have a real chance at this. But instead, SDY's got to go on a rescue mission just to find the C4.
The timing's weird, though. You know, the fact that they're having to navigate and they're still suspicious of somebody being in the A bomb site, you know, suspicions will be raised here from PALOMA, but they'll have no confirmation about where these players have gone off to or whether they've evacuated, but that nade does secure it. The fact that SDY is nowhere to be seen on A, they should be suspicious that he has renavigated.
They're a little wary. In case he's posted. AWP, not going to be able to hit the shot. Damage taken back the other way. SDY, though, has to reroute. Doesn't want to challenge that off again. What does he make the read? He's so paranoid that someone could be flanking, and, I mean, it's reasonable. They've had all the time in the world. But if he wants to make an attempt at this 1v3, he better get a move on. It's a tough ask. He'll have to cross the op again. And the rifle on sight. Murloc will not allow him past the first hurdle. Big round for Murloc. 3 kills found. And our scoreline's tied up.
Yeah, you've got to be a little nervous in a situation like that, just losing a 1v5 the round prior. At least they were able to deal with war almost immediately. I don't know if this is, you know, confirmation bias or it's or what, but it feels very frequently when someone has a crazy round, they're almost destined to fail the next round. It happens so frequently where they're almost like the first death.
You've used up all of your clutch juice. You got to recharge.
All your stamina, yeah.
Cooldown in action. ISO, there you go. Woro down for the count in this one. Off going to be in the hands of Krasnal instead now. He's going to be taken in towards mid, but Olymp with his bricks boost. Always love that spot. And he makes it look good. QQ looking for a little hand cannon magic. Gotta be wary. They know firsthand how punishing these deeks can be, in the AWP especially. bomb, once again, has been left top mid, so they've got the site, but what profit in them the site if they can't plant a bomb? Murloc doesn't know what he has. But if he just sits here and con, there's very little that they can do.
Yeah, and he can do so much more as well. Above the smoke, Krasnal exposed. And now it's, again, a similar situation. Last time it was SDY and DemQ. Now it's just DemQ to try and clutch it back. This was a half-buy investment, so no reason to not go for it unless he can grab his hands on an AK or an AWP. That way he saves more value than he gains. And PALOMA are split up, so they're kind of leaving themselves vulnerable to the attempt.
Right angle, though. Don't have to miss the shot. And SNX good for it with the USP. So, I mean, look, these last 2 rounds have gotten a little bit friskier than perhaps you'd love if you're a PALOMA fan. But they're still winning where it counts. They managed to recover from tossing a 5v1. All good.
Yeah, they've been able to bounce back almost instantly. So that timeout probably did them some good. They played collectively. The last time it was this sort of awkward 2v3 scenario, right? So
it is nice as well when you can shake that off as a relatively young and experienced team, right? A team that's moved up through the ranks. That's some of the toughest moments in Counter-Strike when we talk about the mental game, is when you get absolutely boomed in a situation that you never should have lost any day of the week. You got to be able to shake that off and forget. You got to have a short memory.
They've probably played rounds aplenty like that and lost as many, you know, from open to main to advanced. It's been a grind for a lot of these guys, so yeah, the extra fact that they've got history together will definitely benefit them.
Plus chem.
It's synergy.
Synergy. I feel like that word's fallen out of fashion. That used to be like the #1 business buzzword.
Yeah, the corporate go-to.
And we need to increase the synergies within our company.
How about a pizza party?
ISO's going to have an interesting chance here. They're grouped up. It's not just Boros walking the smoke, but it is still Boros walking the smoke ahead of the flash, and now the trades are good. Galwag press punishing. Oh, Limp doing some good damage, but sticking around a little too long. You don't want to give Waro too many looks. We've seen what he can do with them. Waro looks like he might want to make the individual play. He's tucked in underpass right now with the bomb, low on HP. His teammates making moves out on towards A. Casey getting caught. Getting caught slipping. Like he wanted to swing in, and oh, just SNX. He's done one. He's found not two. DemQ avoids that getting out of hand, and we are all knotted up once more. And the reality of the last few rounds we've seen, Yumi, the anti-ecos that have gotten way too expensive, is PALOMA ain't got no money.
Yeah, and, you know, they were this close to winning that round as well. Things really slowed down here for Monte. They didn't feel like they were going to have enough time to make this work, but a nice aggressive maneuver as well to alleviate the stress in con. Because Waro was, what, 3 HP? You know, if DemQ didn't win that fight, the round is very much up in the air. Certainly could have been one that PALOMA could have written home about. A small clutch in their favor. This window smoke, but on this force buy, not going to find too much on the early duel. Limp already out of the equation in case he does hear some steps in middle, but has no one here to help him.
Completely overlooked him. Casey gets one. Tag onto the next as well. Murloc with that kill. This could actually set up a lot. And again, Boros, just he can't help himself. Once he gets into connector, he is going through 100% of the time. Bomb's dropped. It's completely isolated. DemQ's not even in the right zip code to help out with that. And he will fall with no information on SNX's position. This is the problem with Monte's individual moves. Sometimes up against the limited buy, you set yourselves up to be punished.
Yeah, and as well, you know, clearing through con and not being able to clear that close corner, that is a 4-3 moment. It's a small one at that. Could very well have been, even if it was 16/9, he's just so tunnel visioned on what's ahead of him. But he saw him on the left side of the connector, just no reaction, and things just spiral out of control after they lose that connector fight.
Right, look, they're going out straight towards A. This is a different route. This isn't just a connector fight over and over, but it's not working very well whatsoever. They get shut down left, right, and center. Great play from SNX up and around the ladder. And from the balcony, he will deny. So, PALOMA, a heck of a half starting to come together. One more round to make it happen. No bomb plant, and that means Monte will once again probably be back on their beloved Eagles.
A good impression of float like a butterfly, sting like a bee there from
Mm.
SNX, just bouncing between all these angles and just lightning quick on all the adjustments as well. It's what makes this PALOMA squad so exciting, coming from nowhere, but having the mechanics, having the team chem. People are excited about the Polish scene, and we could be excited about a 9-6 half potentially. ISO even pushing close top middle, just sitting inside the smoke is SDY.
He's going to get cheeky. SDY might be able to catch one. Indeed, he is. You'd imagine the trade swift. A little bit belabored. Now advantage available for Monte. This bomb going to go down to the post plant becomes a very different question, but no one's covering this off. They still get the numbers punched in. That's very fortunate. Because now they have this clock to play around. They don't need to think about planting, just about fragging, which is where this team thrives. Tight angle for Krasnik. Now, rather, and he doesn't get cleared. Casey misses his one real opportunity. This is going to be a really tough ask. Gotta start swinging. DMQ ready for that team ace for Monte to send us to the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
We make incredible songs to celebrate and get mad lit. Once upon a time in Hollywood, I'm like Brad Pitt. My homies say I live a life, yeah, just a tad bit. Learning how to move in this rap shit. I told them that the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch.
And we're back in here. Paloma with a lead, but it is slim after some Deagle heroics and a whole lot of messy rounds. See, Monte climbed to 7. Pretty good half score line. Let's see if they can capitalize here in the second. Boros in the connector. You know he's going to want to walk through it. His favorite thing in the world. But this time he's backing out the right way. And he's finding 2 kills. So here we go. This is the Boros effect. This is what you want to see from the young gun. And he has set them up beautifully. Bomb player might still be a possibility if SDY can get dropped here, and indeed he does. So the bomb is going down. SNX needs to get a move on to support his comrade. They have a chance to mount the defense.
Yeah, no kit available. Very little util as well here for Monte, but they at least have a numbers advantage.
They don't need no util. They just need frags. DemQ looking for the last one. SNX on the other side, but DemQ so precise. Plenty of time for that defuse. No problem on, and we are tied up right at the jump.
Yeah, after getting having just the roughest time on T side there from Boros, you know, you're noting he goes through con smoke continuously, and it's, you know, it has some success sometimes, and then others it looks a little silly. But, you know, considering he was getting punished so heavily, you know, this is the importance of being able to play your position on both sides of the equation. Boros very comfortable on all of those duels, and even showed the right amount of urgency in sort of isolating that last man, because after the 2 players died, there was no urgency from Paloma to trade. They were almost trying to back off, so Boros made sure that wasn't a possibility.
Hey, top mid. Nice and chunky early. Boros, another 3-piece put together here early. Commits himself, though. And they'll want to keep track of that gun. Make sure it can't be picked up by the other side. Still being sucked in towards this top mid fight. Everybody's here for Monte, and they will very comfortably seal the deal in that round.
Yeah, making that force buy look like an anti-eco, quite honestly. Just the cleanliness of these frags from Boros, even with very limited support. Just lovely stuff. Part of what makes him an exciting prospect. He's 19 now. Got my age on him correct.
Something along those lines. Young gun for sure.
Most of Monte are, actually, so it's just one of those squads that could be quite a feel-good story moving ahead to, you know, the RMRs and other international events that they'll hope to qualify for.
Cheeky players into the underpass and overwhelmed. Boros again picking up a multi-kill. He started off this half big. SNX hits the 1, the second as well, as they do want to give him a fight. He has no access to the bomb. This round should be unwinnable, but if they all chase into a fight, there's a world where this falls apart. DemQ will find the kill before that could happen. With full control of the bomb, I like that everybody from Monte was just sprinting to get that last anti-eco. Why? Boy, this team is spicy, to say the least.
I feel like when things are going well, the comms are immaculate. You know, the vibe is good. But I do expect that since SDY's joined, you know, probably the oldest guy on this team, most experienced, was on Navi, you know, probably has the most insight, and will be relied upon to try and keep the spirits high even in the dire straits.
There's the check. Flashbang is good. Kills excellent. Bomb dropped on stairs, and this one a complete non-starter. Paloma not even approaching a bomb plant there. Just nothing. Vaporized. Now, one of the things that I'm speculating about with the introduction of a new engine, right?
Okay.
Little things change. I mean, there's obviously big changes, the way smokes interact, the way movement works exactly. Some of the gun mechanics are changing, things like that. I wouldn't know. I'm not in the beta, but
Me either.
yeah, we can imagine. But one of the things that you get with a new game is just a lot of subtle differences, new bugs, new changes, new features, and the young grinders get an opportunity to surpass some of the older vets who maybe don't have the same amount of time to just soak up hours and bugs and learn. I mean, we've already seen it in Go. Talking about the Monacies of the world who just have a bazillion hours and seem to know every trick possible in the engine. This round, non-starter, which is why I didn't worry about it. But I think Counter-Strike 2 could represent another opportunity for the young guns to really eclipse some of the older vets.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the younger you are, the quicker you're going to absorb that knowledge, you know, or in a space where, even if that is true, I think it'll be at least a couple of years, maybe 3 years before we see any sort of tangible result from that. Because, you know, we've had it in certain generations. I think Rops was another one of these sort of just nerdy young players once upon a time prior to Monte. Not to the same extent, perhaps, but he's embraced his nerdiness now. And maybe that's a good thing, especially with this Paloma squad that are maybe not quite so young, but are still able to show up. Now in this gun round, Casey's already found one, and SNX is dropped as the counter. So it's 4-on-4 after the opening 25 seconds. Paloma will have to gather their troops one direction, but Boros disrupts that plan already.
Ooh, Boro. Jumping down here and towards mid. Boros with another swing, another kill found. He has just been monstrous since the half switch. I think it's something like 6 in the first half.
Yeah.
Total kills?
I think 7, actually, but ever since, like, 3 kills around.
Absolutely insane. It just feels like if you come mid, Boros is going to kill 3. They know where he's playing from, too. It's not like he's making a secret of it. And he's swinging. So there's a lot of ways they could try and counter him. And they are. They are trying. He just doesn't care.
And just because you know it's coming doesn't mean you can stop it. You can try and flash him. You just don't know when he's coming.
If they get an AWP, maybe you just post on Boros the entire room. But Boros by the steps. He's not waiting in the connector this time. He's just swinging into the ramp play, and there's the 3K again. Another one. Another 3K round for Boros. This man is just unreasonable right now. He's going to look for the 4th with HP. Let's set up his teammates, and it will be Boros indeed. Do him one better. An expensive round, but frankly, Monte do not care. They have won every round since the half switch, and their cash is overflowing.
The funniest part about that as well is that Boros has just been farming. He's been having a good time. Everywhere he goes, he's getting multi-kills. And as soon as he got into this 1-on-5, they were all scrambling to find this last kill. Like, come on, we're neglected over here. Give us something to work with. Boros is just eating up everything.
Oh, keep him fed. It seems to be the code here. Again, Paloma want to threaten mid. I mean, look, mid control opens up so many things. They might finally have Boros. They might finally have Boros. They killed Boros without a multi-kill, without any kills whatsoever. Look at the health, though. If HEs come through, this could be disastrous, and they may not even need the nades. MQ's gonna do it with his gun. Who needs utility when you can just frag?
God, I think this was quite a close game. You know, moving away from that first half, the mistakes that were being made, some of the rounds that Paloma were winning, it was kind of looking up, but now on this T side, they're just getting shut down. This is a winnable position, 3-on-2, and with Waro and Demq not exactly the highest HP in this AWP posted in the right spot, they have equalized. This round is starting off at least in a way where it is feasible to win it.
I think this is one of those situations where if you're Paloma, it's time to try and slow things down as much as possible. So much of the game plan has been about taking mid control early, and that's been costly for them because Monte just want to identify the fight and then fight out the fight. But if you're Paloma and you sit early in the round, you hang out in your default, I mean, Monte get itchy very easily. Speaking of which, Krasnal readjusting here with the AWP, playing a bit of a cheeky angle, and I think they spotted him getting in the corner. He's still going to get one. But it sets up a clutch. A very wounded Waro. Bomb has to rotate. It's going to go down. Smoked off. Waro, not a lot of vision. Seems to have a bit of a read of the possibility. He's certainly analyzing his options. Kit available. Bomb planted open. Once he realizes this is planted open, you gotta imagine he suspects the catwalk play. It's not planted for apps. Got a pretty good idea where he's coming from. Check on a van. But the problem is, as soon as he taps this bomb, you just have to pull him off once and this round's over. Olymp just needs one check. He's actually already won it. Didn't even need the check. He'll get it. That's nicely done. A much needed round. Paloma here. And it was in a 2v4, 2v3 that wound up being Yumi.
Yeah, 2v3 by the time the dust settles after all these mid fights. And you know, some of it was just patience, like you said, getting a little itchy, a little hungry for information ends up being what costs them. And even that kill from Crastal was probably the least expected frag. You know, there was nade smoke there. They're double swinging into him. Very feasibly could have just gone down without a whimper. But Warrior found nothing. He did save that ult. But they had more than enough money, so much so that they buy 3 ults. Kind of surprised that they go with triple ult investment, considering how much fun the rifles have been having so far this map. But maybe anticipating a slower Paloma style.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the idea. They're like, okay, how do we fight our own demons and withstand our own attention spans? Well, the way we do it is we buy more ops. That's gonna be Boros down early again. Killing Boros was the key to winning their first round. They're looking for more. It looks like this bomb plant's going to go in unless MQ has the lineup. Oh my goodness, he nearly does. Bomb is planted. Unconfirmed damage onto SNX, but it will soften the player up. They're certainly going for this on the Monte side. The money will have run out, but they don't really care. Give it an attempt. Here they go. Casey hits the first contact. That's a really nice find on the Worrell. Traded, but time's becoming an issue. They're just not going to have the clock to necessarily clear this. Krasnal's not the player with the kit, so this is just a tempting bait to try and pull them back out. The MQ with the trade. MQ has to be the one who gets on the bomb. And he's going to do so. Is he pulled off? Yes, he is. Oh. Can't win the round. Can't take this. He'll try desperately, but that is not a possibility. Down he goes. Paloma chaining them together now.
Yeah. I mean, pretty hectic when it comes down to it. Even with the post-plant positions being set up, the damage being done through those smokes, you know, retaking with these 3 AWPs is obviously not ideal. And after losing Boros, they still have to be worried about a potential connector flank, even though that wasn't something that was going to happen from Paloma. We saw the players sort of reroute back through T-spawn, but fighting ghosts at that point. Still, with the fact that Boros and Warro both had 6k, Warro has invested in an AWP. Hovers around the same amount of cash that the rest of Monte has. So, unless Warro can open up this round, it might be a non-starter, but open kill is good.
Boros is dead. Again, the omen of a potential round win. They've killed the monster of Khan, and now they're killing all the others as well. Pressure on the default player. Warro getting back in action, but they don't need to deal with Warro. They just need to plant the bomb. Warro, a concept that may be foreign to this Monte team, he needs to save.
Yeah, we consider, you know, the way Boros has been playing the CT side and how much of a monster he's been. Warro's at the same amount of frags because of his first half performance, mainly. This might actually be a misread on the economy as well from Paloma. Warro should still be able to buy in the next round. They're maybe anticipating that this was a hero AWP. You know, I've realized just how much cash they actually had.
Still taking it out of their hands. Well worth forcing the 4750 reinvestment. Boros will have to drop it if they want it, and he will do exactly that.
No, I was kind of concerned this was going to be a complete whitewash in the second half, but now that Paloma have started to peel away from these mid fights, especially after winning that 2v3, starting to target bomb sites a bit more, and that way you're kind of avoiding the presence and the prowess of Boros in these past few rounds. In fact, they've been able to dispatch of him so quickly. I think you noted is certainly a big fish to find.
They've killed him first, last 3 rounds. And the first death, first casualty. Looking to do it again. Boros getting aggressive top mid. He's going to make contact with SNX. Presumably there's a flashbang for it. Doesn't go all the way through, and it's actually Warro to collect instead. So that is first blood found. And look at how spread Paloma are. Boros. Oh, he's so far up already that they're going to clear top mid. And ISO's not going to know that Boros is here. This could get really interesting in the late round as the bomb is shifting on towards A. Out by Tetris already. It's committed. Boros could be the key piece, could be the linchpin of this round, especially if these remaining CTs can get some damage. That's the bomb now dropped. Boros is going to be able to babysit it when he eventually does come through, and he's here just now. He's got the bomb, he's got the C4, he's got the control, but he's not content to wait. Those are players likely either on or under the Belk. And he's going to post up for it. Couple casualties. Olymp, that's a massive one to find. And they can't get the kill. Boros overcommitting in a massive way. Now it's all falling apart. It all comes just down to Warro. Got the AWP. He's got the sidelines. Close up. He's not expecting Olaf to play his game. That was a masterclass. Boros could have completely unraveled it, but trying to force the issue, he gets caught.
Yeah, a bit of impatience there for Monte. Considering they have Boris' position, this is basically an unwinnable game state, as far as I'm concerned. They have them having this flank, Paloma re-clearing mid and having someone lurk up through the underpass, and then go through connector. They're never going to be suspicious of a push like that, not until a much later timing. And Boris just tried to force the issue. You're absolutely right. They should have played a bit more contained, played on top of that bomb perhaps, and just stopped them from getting to it.
SDY with the 5-7. There you go. That's how you create with the pistol. Make something happen. Here's the dynamic plays coming back in, and Warlock might get caught here. Waro activated. They shift up the positioning. Boros in towards window instead, and may not have been expected. Limpin' SNX now trying to recover what was looking to be a sure thing from the jump. But anything but against this team. It doesn't matter what weapons they have in their hands. Headshots still impactful. All into SNX. One hell of a recovery required. He's going to have to cross SDY with an AWP. He's got a minute, though. So tucked in the sandwich. He might try and see if they'll overextend. And SDY thinks somebody could be all the way through B. There's actually a bomb plant here, completely allowed. There's the spot. There's the shot. And there's going to be the plant. Ooh, want to debate the potential Pal's position. I think still time for this, but crossing the up, that will be his demise. Huge round for SDY.
Yeah, and a perfect call as well, considering they just lost a round that was, positionally played perfectly, but the execution somewhat lackluster. This is just simple execution, overwhelming Paloma, neither of them playing anti-flash, which is something that they will, I imagine, hope to improve in times that go by. But, this map has kind of gone by rather quickly, especially on this T side. Even though they had a bit of a resurgence, Monte are now back in with what is a much stronger buy than Paloma. They're just running through smoke.
Well, here's another Boros round. Boros damn you in this one. The run through smoke turns out not going to be an effective strategy. They've been completely shut down, overwhelmed, and they don't seem to have a chance of even competing. The chase is going to come through eventually. SNX is being flanked up as well. SDY, the insurance policy here to make sure that he can't get away. SNX is hearing a lot of footsteps. They're actually pinching Palace, which allows a tiny window of opportunity, one that Waro will slam on the fingers of SNX. So for a moment there, it looked like we might get a late resurgence out from Paloma, but it was not to be. It was a false hope, shall we say, and it turns out the prowess, the crazy multi-fracking capability of Monte was just too much to handle in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, considering it was about as close as could be.